So apparently Joe Rogan has the most popular podcast on Spotify, and he's repeatedly spread COVID misinformation and invited guests on to do the same.
Went from Walter Cronkite basically to this guy Joe Rogan, who believes in dragons. I checked it. He believes in dragons. He believes in dragons.
Did you triple force that?
Yes, I did. And he also thinks that dragons, like I guess like dinosaur type of animals, roamed the earth when people did.
Worried about losing your job, and you're worried about podcasts taking over, and who's the source of news, and we said Donald Trump was Hitler, but half the country disagreed with us, and he won, and this is and Joe Rogan believes in dragons.
Joe Rogan was just living his best life, sipping elk meat smoothies and doing his thing, when The View decided to take shots at him one too many times. Now he's hit back with a $100 million defamation lawsuit. It's such a big mood it could use its own wrestling commentary. Whoopi's probably regretting every word, Sonny's looking a little nervous, and the whole table's just stunned. It's less of a court case and more of a wild mix of reality TV and politics, and it's about to get real. Picture this. Joe, either in the middle of a kettlebell workout or on a mind-bending ayahuasca trip, suddenly stops. His eyebrow raises, just one word. After years of being the punching bag for Asterisk, The View's Asterisk drama, Joe finally says what a lot of America's been thinking.
That's why people like our show, because they know that we are checked by ABC News. But
We're checked by everybody.
Yeah, I mean, if we're wrong, we have, the legal note here.
The human legal note?
I don't know. Hey, this is the most important part. This is right after she was saying, we are run by ABC News. You should trust us, not Joe Rogan, who believes in dragons. So she by saying we should trust them because they're double checked by ABC News, and then making the stupidest statement. Like you didn't listen to what I said. Yeah. You didn't listen to what the wildlife biologist, and that's only a part of what he said.
I can't believe
the other
Joy
part of what he
Behar
said was
didn't
there was something before that where he was explaining encounters with giant.
This circus has to end. Joe Rogan's been trashed by a group of media elites who treat gossip like gospel. Now the guy who faces down reality for fun is about to take them all to court. Asterisk, The View Asterisk, or as it's better known, the Daily Brunch Table, is a mess of unchecked egos and loud opinions. These 5 hosts, who sip on eagle-lats and act like reading a headline makes them experts, decided it was a great idea to attack Joe. They accuse him of everything short of faking the moon landing or creating COVID, just throwing out wild claims like it was a comedy show. Here's the kicker. Joe wasn't even on their show. He didn't make an appearance, didn't tweet at them, didn't even send them a bag of elk jerky. But somehow, these so-called opinion leaders made him the focus of their verbal nonsense. Joy Behar rolled her eyes so dramatically it almost looked like they were going to fall out of her head, and Whoopi jumped in with her usual righteous tone, acting like she's never been caught contradicting herself. So what did Joe do?
Is that show has this very specific ideological bubble in which they operate in. And they always bring on a token conservative woman, and they yell over her and silence her, and they did that with Meghan McCain, and they did that with what is that other blonde woman from Survivor? Do you remember her, Jamie? She was always yelling. I mean, it's a bizarre show.
And just like that, Joe snapped. He did Asterisk, The View Asterisk, with a $100 million defamation lawsuit, dropping it like a folding chair in a WWE match. Yep, you heard right. The same guy who once dared contestants to eat cow guts for TV is now handing out legal papers like they're part of his next survival challenge. But this time, the stakes are real and his reputation is on the line. Here's the thing. This isn't about hurt feelings or jokes about Joe's style or macho persona. Rogan's tougher than most, but when you start making accusations that could ruin his contracts, destroy his credibility, and even damage his Spotify empire, that's crossing a line. Disagreeing with him is fine. People do it all the time. But publicly calling him a threat to society on national TV while sipping your overpriced coffee, that's reckless. The ladies of Asterisk, The View Asterisk, seem to think their daytime TV platform gave them a free pass to say whatever they wanted without consequences. Newsflash, just because you're on ABC doesn't mean you're above the law. You can't throw shade with a smile and expect to walk away unscathed.
Joe Rogan here. Did you see Joe Rogan, who believes in dragons, I guess? According to Joy Behar, he changed his X profile. Did you see this?
That. I did see that.
It now just simply says dragon believer. He had talked about dragons on the show. It's, the thing of it is, you take anything out of context and you can make fun of it and mock it. And So, let's do that. It goes without saying. Joe Rogan, how many times more intelligent do you think Joe Rogan is than Joy?
Now reality's setting in because Joe Rogan is no joke. He's not just a podcaster. He's a media powerhouse with a $200 million war chest and a sharp ability to cut through the noise. And he's done being polite. This lawsuit isn't a petty PR stunt. Joe's legal team didn't show up with flowery paper and good vibes. They came ready to drag this mess into court. And they didn't come empty-handed either. They brought a stack of evidence, video clips, transcripts, side-by-side fact breakdowns, basically a legal mixtape showing that The View Asterisk's commentary wasn't just messy, it was way off base. The word facts might as well have been on vacation from daytime TV. So what crossed the line? Just the usual casual defamation. When you accuse someone as influential as Rogan of spreading misinformation, you better have solid proof. The View Asterisk. They brought noise, loud, raw, and barely connected to reality. Their arguments were shakier than a Jenga tower in an earthquake. But let's be clear, this isn't about Joe's feelings. It's about business. Tossing his name around like that on live TV doesn't just stir up drama, it shakes up partnerships. Spotify might love controversy, but only when it's profitable. This time, the mess was real brand risk. Joe's team made it clear. This wasn't harmless talk, it was reputation arson, pure liability dressed up as morning chatter.
People want us divided, and they aren't just here in this country. They're foreign adversaries who are infiltrating our social media because it is prudent for us to stay that way. So when you see something that really pisses you off, you should triple check that one.
Bad information that's going out
Well,
there.
in defense, there are some really
But
good
it's possible
news.
that Donald Trump did roam the earth when dinosaurs were here.
There are some really good news kind of influencer types, and I think it's great that they're getting information about global and current events in front of younger people who maybe don't tune into traditional media. But to Sarah's point, there has to be some fact checking and actually verification of the things that are shared, because I spend a lot of time on Instagram Reels and I'm served up things that I get outraged about, and then I realize, oh, that's...
So how did the hosts react? It was pure chaos. Joy Behar looked like someone told her wine delivery was canceled. Sunny Hostin tried to throw around legal jargon like she just passed the bar between coffee sips and whoopee. The queen of contradictions pulled a classic, well, it's just our opinion, as if that's some magical shield in a courtroom. But here's the thing. Once your opinion reaches millions of viewers, it's no longer just idle chatter, it's influence. And if you don't have the proof to back it up, you better be ready for the fallout. Rogan wasn't playing around. This wasn't just a mild critique. This was them labeling him dangerous and hoping the applause would cover up the risk of a lawsuit. Classic move, right? But then Rogan hit back the only way he knows how, on his massive podcast, which is basically the biggest mic in the world. It's like a mosquito trying to mess with a lion and getting obliterated in front of a global audience. Joe broke down their nonsense point by point and mocked the whole mess with his trademark smirk, the kind that says, I've got more truth in one rep than you all do with a year's worth of nonsense.
Do you see what Whoopi Goldberg said?
What'd she say?
Whoopi Goldberg said that Biden could arrest all the Republicans and put them in jail. You just need to see how unhinged this kind of thinking is. Well, you know what Joe Biden could do? Joe Biden, you have to see it, because it's so
on TV.
crazy.
She said
on television.
Let's look at a scenario where the Supreme Court says, yes, he has all those rights. He is immune from everything.
Yeah.
You know what Joe Biden could do since he is presently president?
What?
Whoa. He could throw every Republican in jail.
And the fans, oh, they went wild. Reddit exploded with threads so long they looked like legal documents. YouTube comment sections turned into full-on debates, with better research than half the media. Twitter became a battlefield with Team Rogan sharpening memes like weapons, while The View Asterisk's defenders scrambled to figure out how to fix the mess they made. But this isn't just about Joe versus daytime TV drama. It's about media responsibility. For years, shows like The View Asterisk have skated by, tossing out shade while pretending it's just light entertainment. They crack jokes, throw punches, and play judge and jury. But the moment someone hits back suddenly, they're just having a chat over coffee. No harm, no foul, right? Except their asterisk is asterisk harm when you start smearing people's reputations on a national stage. This $100 million lawsuit isn't just revenge. It's a wake-up call. The days of consequence-free commentary, it might be over. You can't throw around half-baked narratives about public figures and expect no backlash, especially when your target has a bigger audience than most primetime networks.
I agree that Joe Rogan is a horror. A horror.
I mean, I'm not saying that Joe Rogan should be removed from Spotify. He's got 11 million listeners.
then
He's got a $100 million, contract as of 2020. But I do think as the podcast platform, you have to have some sort of guidelines. How about a disclaimer on his podcast that says, this is misinformation?
Let's not forget Asterisk. The View Asterisk has a history of outlandish takes and viral cringe moments. This is the same show that seriously debated whether the Earth is flat, where casual brunch chatter drifts into historical revisionism like it's no big deal. And now they're acting shocked that someone with both the fire and the facts finally decided to fight back. Meanwhile, Rogan's on his podcast, sipping mushroom tea like it's just another Saturday, effortlessly tearing apart their arguments like he's grading beginners in a jiu-jitsu class. No yelling, no sweating. Just laughing, because nothing rattles smug TV hosts faster than someone who can out-talk, out-think, and do it all without breaking a sweat. That smirk of his, deadly. And the timing? Perfect. Just when Asterisk, the View Asterisk, thought they were riding high on their political moral high ground, boom, a legal tsunami wipes it all out. They thought they were racking up social points, but mid-show, they realized they were stuck in a cage match with a guy who literally trains in cage matches. This isn't a media spat. This is the main event. And right now, the audience isn't clapping. They're grabbing popcorn.
Arguably, like, the real fans of The View that are like, oh, these ladies are on point. Most of those people can't leave the house. Like, they're probably immobile.
Right. Because their mom's taking their kids to school, and that's, yeah.
It's a very strange show, but it's fun to watch. It's just fun to watch them.
It's good entertainment.
Yeah.
Undoubtedly.
Well, they're just, it's interesting because I think Sunny is very intelligent, but she's ideologically captured.
Right.
That's sort of, I think the other ones, there's a couple of the other ones, don't have to name any names, who are just very dull-minded.
There's something strangely poetic about all of this. The same crew who spends their mornings preaching accountability for public figures suddenly hides behind the weak excuse of we were just talking. Oh, really? Like they've never heard of a defamation lawsuit before? Newsflash. It's not just real. It's now on Joe's playlist. Then boom, silence. The kind of silence so loud it makes your ears ring. The moment the news hit that Joe Rogan had fired off a $100 million legal missile straight at Asterisk, the View Asterisk Manhattan soundstage, everything stopped. Joy Behar went completely quiet like someone pulled the plug on her mic. No zingers, no eye rolls, nothing. ABC, of course, did what any massive media company does when it realizes it might have just triggered financial Armageddon. They called in the lawyers. And not just any lawyers, Disney's legal powerhouse kicked into overdrive, reportedly scrambling into red alert meetings, probably asking what everyone at home was thinking. Wait, did we really say something that's going to cost us the GDP of a small country? And then came the corporate statement. The one polished, sterile, and completely empty. We are aware of the matter and are currently reviewing our legal options. Translation, please, for the love of all things holy, don't let this end up in court. Because behind the bright studio lights and rehearsed smiles, the real drama isn't what was said on air. It's the fallout they never saw coming.
The show that people love to hate.
Yes, that's true.
They get so much hate watching and hate watching viral clips of them saying ridiculous things. I mean, it is a rabies infested hen house.
and at the same time, it seemed like the most interesting part was their audience seemed to be on my side.
Yes.
And that's their audience.
Yes. Well, their audience is not really their audience. Their audience is a group of people they bring in to watch television shows.
Behind the studio doors, though, things were far from calm. The vibe at ABC was like a mix between an Asterisk, Real Housewives, Asterisk shouting match, and a corporate compliance meeting gone totally off the rails. Whispers zipped around faster than Whoopi could allegedly mumble into her mic. Was a retraction coming? An apology? A mascara-smeared sit-down interview where someone pretends to cry while sipping chamomile tea from a live laugh love mug. No one knew for sure, but insiders said execs were tossing around the idea of an on-air clarification. Translation. Asterisk, we're not admitting anything, but please don't sue us into bankruptcy. Asterisk, meanwhile, the internet had gone full gladiator mode. Rogan's fans turned Reddit into a digital battlefield. Thread titles like Asterisk, Joe Rogan versus The View. Let the bodies hit the floor, Asterisk, were everywhere. Memes were flying faster than lawsuits. Twitter, a war zone. Team Rogan was out there with savage clapbacks, while Asterisk, The View Asterisk defenders looked like they were Googling what is qualified immunity. And the irony, both sides were subtly screaming about free speech, but from completely opposite angles. One side crying censorship, the other screaming defamation. And that's where the real drama lies. This lawsuit isn't just some back and forth between a podcast king and a panel of talk show hosts. It's a cultural moment, a legal battle that will set the line between sharing an opinion and wrecking someone's reputation.
I had to read the thing about The View because I just thought it was funny.
What's
That's
this?
the only reason why I read that about me.
Dragon lover.
Joy Behar was trying to say that I believe in dragons.
Wait, what is this? I just heard about it.
I checked it. And the lady goes, did you double check this? She goes, I checked it. He believes in dragons.
Should be like
you think they lived
Sasquatch,
alongside of
bitch.
people.
This isn't just courtroom drama, it's about that fine, dangerous line between free speech and reckless McFlinging. We're living in an age where talk show hosts have more influence than many lawmakers. So when a daytime show which beams into millions of homes casually throws around major accusations like it's nothing more than brunch gossip, where's the accountability? Just because it's wrapped in laughter and commercial breaks doesn't mean it's harmless. Joe Rogan's lawsuit, whether you see him as a truth-seeking savage or just a walking protein shake with Wi-Fi, is raising one big question. Can a talk show just label someone as dangerous without proof and get away with it? Because if Rogan wins, even partially, the ripple effects won't just hit asterisk, the View asterisk. This could change the game. Suddenly, YouTubers, TikTokers, and Twitter warriors will have to realize their totally factual roasts might need legal disclaimers. Influencers will be out there rewriting captions mid-post like, allegedly, don't sue me.
Why doesn't The View have any trans women on it?
Great point. It has a lot of women that look trans, but none of them... It has a lot of second and third takes. After a drink, you'd go, huh? But it doesn't have a ton of...
The real kicker here, the Joe Rogan effect isn't just about the legal side of things, it's cultural. Rogan isn't out there whining on a phone or begging for sympathy. No, he's fighting back with courtroom receipts and Spotify checks in hand. His message is clear. If you come at me with lies, don't expect tears. Expect a lawsuit, maybe a 3-hour podcast, and a drag session in high definition. So, next time someone on The View starts off with, you know what Joe Rogan said, they might just take a pause, sip their coffee, and rethink their words. Sure, free speech still exists, but so do subpoenas, court fees, and legal teams that charge by the minute. Let's face it, the public is eating this drama up like it's the season finale of the scandal-packed reality show. Who doesn't love a good takedown, especially when it targets the untouchables? Right now, the ladies of The View might as well have panic buttons under their chairs, because this got very real very fast. Could it go to court? Maybe. But the network execs know better. Dragging this mess into a courtroom would just amplify the fallout. The safer play? Settle behind closed doors with a fat Disney-sized check and hope it disappears. But here's the twist. The damage is already done. They mess with a guy who doesn't just speak. He broadcasts globally every day, and his fan base treats Reddit like a courtroom. When you toss wild accusations at someone with the biggest mick in the room, you better be wrapped in legal Kevlar. This is a reminder that in the age of viral receipts and digital mobs, even the loudest voices should think twice before squawking. One misquote and boom, you're trending for all the wrong reasons. Meanwhile, Joe Rogan's just chilling, probably shirtless, sipping something weird, watching the chaos unfold like it's another episode in his content archive. Armed with a podcast and a legal team that hits harder than a roundhouse kick to the ego, he's ready. So if you're loving this drama-filled breakdown of defamation and daytime delusion, hit that like button, subscribe, and drop your thoughts in the comments. This isn't over, and trust me, you don't want to miss the next round. See you in the next one.